What's good, YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to repair your Apollo Air 2023 scooter. The part actually came in pretty fast. I'm going to put on the screen when that came in, just so I can be sure that I get that incorrect. But it did come in pretty quick, if I do say so myself, because it was saying it could take quite some time, like maybe a couple weeks. Sometimes if it's out of stock, it said it could take super duper long. But yeah, it came pretty fast. So what happened was, when the scooter crashed, obviously it got some scrapes right there, but what it did, that was the devastation of the situation, was it rotated and twisted the brake. And there's an actual cord that hooks into the scooter under here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a cord right there. And what that does, it communicates to the scooter to tell it to turn off the cruise control situation whenever you hit the brake. So you don't want to have the brake on and you're still cruising down the road or the sidewalk. That's not going to be a good look. With this situation, what we're going to have to do is remove a couple screws. So there's a screw in here that's kind of tiny. Now, another thing that happened was that as well, that broke, so that's not cool. We'll have to get another light or something, but it is what it is. And then down here underneath, we do have two more screws, Phillips situation. Gonna have to take off this one, and we're also gonna have to undo the handlebar here and here, but on that handlebar over there. I'm not sure why the phone is not focusing, that is not cool. The Apollo scooter brand is a nice brand. They actually do come with some tools and some extra bolts and stuff like that for some of the different parts, along with the air pump in that bad boy. I'm gonna be using one of the Allen wrenches they included, and I'm gonna be using some of the ones I already had, along with a screwdriver to get this situated. It really doesn't matter what order you start in. I'm gonna go ahead and start here and undo the stuff for the control panel right here. Try not to drop none of these screws. It's not gonna be a good look. Set them aside somewhere where you won't lose them. You don't wanna have that occur. Next, we're gonna get the screws under here. And I did what I said not to do. Dropped it, but luckily I didn't lose it. And what I do, I use one of the smaller Allen wrenches and I push it up here through one of the little holes right there so I can pop this out. So that's all done. Next step we're gonna be doing is taking off the different parts for the handlebar situation. All right, next up, I'm gonna loosen these here, and that's gonna make it to where I can pop this out and off. So I'm gonna let that sit right there for a moment. And then the next one I'm gonna do is over here. Because there's one on each side of the grip. You don't gotta undo it all the way, just enough to where it'll slide out when you need it to slide out. But you can do it all the way if you want to, I suppose. Won't really make much of a difference. And then, see right there, it's starting to move around for me right there. So that's good. Next, we're gonna undo the one for the brake. Again, you don't have to do it all the way, just enough for it to slide. Once you're ready to pull this out right here, all we gotta do is just grab it and then just undo it right there. So since I'm showing you how to, take it off and get to it, yours might already be ripped too. So mine is not ripped right now. So what I have to do is I have to go to it in here and then undo where I had it connected. So luckily it already undid itself when I was sliding it. So now I can just work it on through there. And if you're having too much trouble just pulling it over like this, all you gotta do is just undo the brake situation. To take that off, we're just gonna unscrew this right here. Tight situation. And then you're gonna pull it. So when you pull it, it's gonna be lined up where this line is right there. And then you'll be able to just pop this open right there, just like any other bike brake. Twist it to where it comes out. All right, so once that comes out, now we can just simply slide this out and then see how it just comes on out of there. So now that we have it freed, if yours is damaged and ripped, now's the time to basically redo all of what we just did. All you gotta do is, sometimes you gotta play around with it a little bit to get it to feed back through there exactly like it should. There we go. Slide this back on right here, and then work it back. Then once we do that, all we gotta do is come over to the control panel, get that cord out of there, and then once we grabbed it, then we're gonna just plug it into where it goes. And see right there, that lets you know you did not plug it into the right spot. So undo this right here, and then grab this other one. This is the right spot. And then as soon as you plug it in, it'll be back doing what it's supposed to do. As far as getting this back in there, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of tough. So you could tape this around here just to make sure it's more secured if you want to. I'm not doing all that. It doesn't really move around in here. And then you kind of just want to work your way back to pushing it back down. Now, one thing you do want to make sure you don't do, you don't want to have these screw ports blocked by those wires because you don't want to pierce those. Next, we're going to put the brakes back like we had them. Slide it in here. Just basically reverse everything we did. Then just tighten that back up. What we're gonna do next, we're gonna just slide on the handlebar. Next thing you're gonna do is reconnect this blinker. Just a quick little plug right there. If you wanna make sure it works. We're all good. And then you just simply put this back in there. And then when you tighten that up, it'll tighten onto this. And when you tighten this up, it'll keep it from moving over there. If you ever need to just replace the whole handlebar, all you gotta do is just undo these screws that's for the handlebar. And there's just one wire connecting from the handlebar down to the stem and then to the deck. So it's pretty cool how they designed it. So it's not too much to fool with as far as getting it back on the road. And as always, if this video helped you out in any way, shape, or form, please slam the like button, it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.